Hello everyone, my name is Teacher Gemma and I'm back. It's been a while since I did another video, but today's video will be about payment. So one question that my referrals have pretty much all asked me is, what's the pay system? Can you explain it to me? Because it is a little bit confusing. There's a lot of information out there to digest. So let's just get straight into it. Okay, so starting with the base pay rate is anywhere between $18 to $26 per 50-minute lesson. So if you do 25-minute lessons, then your base pay rate is cut in half. And as you progress in the company, there are pay rises every 12 months when they consider renewing your contract. And you can also negotiate different pay for different levels that you teach. Even though they advertise it as per 50-minute lesson, that's fine, but I would realistically say it's that per hour. And the reason why I say that is because by the time you factor in some of the additional things that you have to do, so for example, like homework grading or feedback, then I would just consider it per hour. I think it's a more honest way of looking at it, so bear that in mind. So after the base pay rate, there are obviously incentives. There always are with these online ESL companies, and I will go into some detail about these incentives, but one of them is a little bit tricky, so bear with me. Okay, so the first one I will go through is the tricky one. That's the full attendance bonus. The full attendance bonus is not really as simple as it sounds. You have to have a certain number of classes that you successfully attend during the course of that month. So for example, if you are teaching, say, Monday to Friday, and you have this is really off the top of my head, but 66 lessons, then you have to attend all 66 of those lessons. They have to be marked as scheduled, and you will then get that bonus for that month. The number that you get, the actual bonus you get, depends on how many classes you have. So I think for March it was 66 for the lowest tier of FAB. FAB is the full attendance bonus, which was $150 on top of the money you get just by, teaching your classes. Then you have the next tier, which is 200, and then 250, and then 300, and then 350, and then 400. So there are different tiers depending on how many lessons you actually teach in a month. The higher tiers, the really high tiers, they're very difficult to get unless there's a summer camp going on. The first two tiers are possible to get, and I'm going to go into different scenarios later on in the video to go in depth with this. But in its simplest terms, the full attendance bonus is just extra money you get for showing up to all of your lessons, and assuming your students also show up to all of your lessons, because yes, you need a certain number of classes to actually meet that bonus. Okay, the second bonus I want to talk about is the weekend incentive bonus, which is a $5 bonus per lesson for classes taught between 7 o'clock Beijing time and then up to 9 o'clock Beijing time. So you will get a $5 bonus for those 50-minute lessons. For 25 minutes, again, half it, so you get $2.5 per lesson you teach on Saturdays and Sundays during those times. It's a little nice bit of extra money. Yeah, it's just a nice way to earn some extra money if you don't really mind losing your weekends. For example, for me, I'm working every day now because it's Corona times, what else are we doing? So I am working Monday to Sunday, and of course when things ease up I'll probably stop, but until then, that's what I'm doing. So the next thing I want to talk about is the trial incentive. So I didn't talk about trial classes yet, and for those of you who don't really know the differences between trial classes and regular classes, I am going to do a video on those differences. But essentially, trial classes are free lessons given to prospective WELL students, and we get paid $18 flat rate for them. So there's a different base pay rate for regular classes. There's a range. With trial classes, there's no range. It's just $18 flat. So if you are teaching trial classes and one of those students decides to sign up to WELL's English, then you get a $5 conversion fee per student who signs up. So even though, your base pay rate for regular classes might be higher, it might be worth still teaching trial classes if your conversion rate is really good. So that's something to bear in mind as well. It's another way to earn extra money. Okay, I don't want to go too much into this because this video is mostly about teaching with Wales, but of course there are referral bonuses too. So if you are interested in referring, which I would recommend people to try out, I found it very fulfilling so far, then yeah, referral bonuses, there are referral bonuses, $100 per successful referral, so that's also a nice way to just bump up your income. So I'm going to give you numbers, figures, because I think that's better. And money is so important, and we don't talk about it enough. I think it's important for deciding what online ESL company to actually choose and to go for. So we're going to take March as a baseline because it's easier to work with an actual month. So say you started working with Wales in, I don't know, February. I just had to dial back the months there. Say you started working for Wales in February and you only started picking up your classes in March. That's when you started to get fully booked, and you have Monday to Friday 6 until 9 o'clock. You would be teaching 69 lessons in that month, and that equals to about 15 hours per week. So 15 hours per week, 69 lessons a month. In March, the number of successfully completed lessons that you needed to get your first tier, the lowest tier of FAB, was 66. So you would be eligible for FAB. Let's say you were eligible for FAB, you taught those lessons Monday to Friday, you could expect to earn, with a base pay rate of $18, $1,392. So it's not bad. That's for 15 hours a week. Even without FAB, if you are hired at a base rate of $18 per hour, you would be able to earn $1,242. So that's something to bear in mind. Monday to Friday, 3 lessons a day. Let's say that you were hired at a base pay rate of $20 per hour, and per 15 minute, but like I said, per hour. Like I said, I actually don't know if I said this, but I will say it now. Your base pay rate does depend on a few things: your qualifications, your experience, and your performance in the interview. So it's very important that you do well in the interview, and I have a video dedicated to giving you top tips on how to pass your mock class, and I've had people get through, so please watch them. Okay, so if you're hired at a base pay rate of $20, then you would be looking at $1,530 for that month, with the exact same working hours as, well, with the $18 one. Without FAB, that would be $1,380. So FAB makes a really huge difference, which is also, it's a good incentive to, you know, make sure you're at your best and you're doing the absolute best you can to ensure that you get FAB. It really makes a difference. That's not including, of course, any weekend incentives, because it's Monday to Friday. You could open flexible slots and that would change things. The flexible slots are slots that you don't have to commit to for such a long period of time. You can open them one week and not the next week, or whatever you want to do. That's also not accounted for any trial conversions, because I'm basing this off of just having regular classes throughout those times. How feasible is this? I hear you asking from through the screen. It's quite feasible. I think it's quite feasible. Your 6 o'clock slots might take a little bit longer to fill than your 7 and 8 o'clock slots, but they will fill. I would say that's a good idea of what you can earn with that. Now, scenario number 2, we're going to go through 3 scenarios, but scenario number 2 is a bit more intense. You do Monday to Saturday. Again, all regular classes, again being hired at the base pay rate of $18 per 15-minute class per hour. So let's begin with that. If you did that in March and you had no cancellations, nothing like that, no no-shows, none of those things that can change your income, then you would have taught 81 classes. Now, 81 classes is not enough for tier 2 of FAB. It's still it's not just enough, it's more than enough for the lowest tier, but it's not quite there yet for the second tier of FAB. So you would be teaching 81 classes. You would have the weekend incentive because you would be teaching on Saturdays between 7 till 9. So you would have a $40 extra because of your weekend incentive in total in a month like March. and in total you would earn $1,648, and that is for 18 hours a week. Again, roughly. I'm trying to be really transparent about the time investment. That's why I don't just calculate it with 50-minute lessons. Yes, roughly 18 hours a week, give or take. Scenario number two is a person who is hired at a base pay rate of $20 an hour. Well, I keep saying an hour, but you know what I mean by now. That's hired at a base pay rate of $20, and they will teach for the same amount of time. They will be earning $1,810, so quite a lot of money there. Now the third one, which is a bit crazy, and I don't think a lot of people will actually do this, but if you want to work Monday till Sunday, 3 lessons a day, it can be a bit intense doing this, so I would understand it if not. I was actually considering just not even mentioning this option, but I'm trying to give you a really broad idea of how much you can earn, so here we go. You would be teaching 93 classes, which will definitely make you eligible for the second tier of FAB. Now, if you do this, you would earn $1,954. So, and that's for roughly 21 hours a week of work, but it's every day, so that comes with its own challenges, trust me. Again, a good amount of money you can earn. The only incentives I'm really calculating here are the FAB and the weekend incentives, so assuming you don't get no-shows, you don't get those kinds of things. Okay, so that's all I can think of to give you information about payment. I really hope this was helpful. I tried to go really in depth with my scenarios so you can have a really good idea of how much you can earn. Like I said, this doesn't cover trial conversions and things like that. And please be aware that your wage, your income, it can fluctuate so drastically. You can have months where, for example, there's a festival happening in China and there's a lot more cancellations, or there's exam season, and you can't account for those things always. But this is just a baseline of kind of what you can roughly expect to earn in a month. I tried not to even make it so it's like a really good month or something, just standard. And I only ever spoke about opening slots between 6 till 9, but you can open slots earlier. You can have slots at 5 o'clock, you can have slots at 4 o'clock, some people even have. So, you know, those are very difficult to fill though. I just want to add that. Those are difficult to fill. And maybe you can. For me personally, I prefer doing just every day, less hours in every day. Okay, I hope this video has been helpful. Yes, and if you have any other questions, please feel free to email me. And remember, you can always use my referral link. I do one-on-one coaching with anyone who uses my referral link. Even if you don't use my referral link, I will do my best to help you as much as possible. I just might not be able to have the time to do the one-on-one referral coaching. If you're not my referral, it's very busy for me. So please still reach out. I will do my best. I will answer as many questions as you have, and I hope this is helpful to all of you. Okay everyone, thank you so much for watching this video and for making it to the end of the video. And yes, if you do decide to apply to Wills English, please feel free to use my referral link below. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.